Lunchtime Live on News Talk.
Brought to you by Avant Money. Think you're getting the best value from your bank? Think again.
A lot of talk over the last week of the debacle of trying to get an EU COVID cert, a digital COVID cert, and it's one that's still rampaging at the moment. The hotline that you were to ring answered perhaps 10% of the calls that were coming in. People were left extremely frustrated. Our next caller, Sarah Rees-Brennan from Dublin, has had an awful experience, and she joins me on the line. Sarah, good afternoon and welcome to News Talk.
Good afternoon, Adrian. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. So, you are fully vaccinated. So you've had when did you get your second vaccine?
In May.
In May, right. So ages ago. And did you get it through a GP or a vaccination centre?
Through a GP, yeah. I'm in the high-risk cohort. So
Okay.
I think it's especially important that I not be getting misinformation. I mean, nobody should.
Okay, so you got your second vaccine in May, and obviously, like everybody, you wanted to get your COVID cert, which hadn't come through to you. Is that right? It hadn't arrived in the post.
No, it hadn't arrived in the post or the email, so I got on the helpline, though I had, been warned about the wait time. The first time I tried, I was on for an hour and then I was cut off. And I was like, fine, no problem. Call again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day I was on for 6.5 hours.
Say that again?
And I was on the hold for 6.5 hours.
God, you have the patience of a saint. 6.5 hours you stayed on hold.
Well, I'm lucky. I'm a writer, so I can be flexible, but people with regular jobs or kids couldn't do it. And I did clean my whole house. It's never been so clean.
Right, 6.5 hours on hold. And I'm trying to remember, was it an 1800 number? Was it a free phone number?
Yeah, it was a free phone number, thank God.
Well, that's something. Okay, so 6.5 hours. What happened at the end of the 6.5 hours?
Well, I was talking to a very nice lady, and she said that it was all in order, and I would have my certificate in 5 working days. In 5 days. And I said 5 working days, and she said, no, 5 days. And I was like, great.
Fantastic.
And I had flights booked, so I wanted to be super safe, so I changed the flight, and I was like, all right, we're sorted. And then I was waiting, and nothing came, so then the portal was introduced, and I was like, great news. So I went to the portal. And first off, the CAPTCHA wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Then the portal told me they needed more information when all the information was confirmed on the phone. So I sadly went, and the portal told me to go back to the helpline. So I went back to the helpline, and then I was on for another 6.5 hours.
Another 6.5 hours.
I took screenshots.
Yeah, no, I saw your screenshots.
I needed proof.
I saw your
Oh, my
screenshots.
goodness.
Well, I won't hold for more than 15 minutes for anybody, anytime. So, like I said, you've the patience of a saint if you stayed on hold for a second time for 6.5 hours. So, what happened after that call?
Well, they said that there was a problem they hadn't spotted the first time. Fun. And that things had changed, and it was now 5 working days. But they also told me that I'd be fine if I got a PCR test from one of the gov.ie providers. And I questioned that. I was like, to where I was going, which was Malta, and they were like, yes, you can get a digital cert from one of these providers. Go. So I'd already moved my flights twice at this point, and so I went and I got my PCR test, which shockingly was negative.
Mm-hmm.
And with my negative PCR test and my HSE card in hand, I went to the airport.
Excellent. On your flight to Malta.
Lovely stuff.
Right, okay,
And my traveling companion was just ahead of me, had gone through the boarding gates, and then they were like, oh, no, you can't go on. I was like, oh, what? Oh, no.
So hang on. So you
were like, you're turned away.
You were advised on the helpline that with a negative PCR test and the card that you got for your vaccine, which shows that you got both your vaccines on the dates that you got them, that you could arrive at the gate in the airport and hop on your plane, and everything will be great when you get to Malta as well.
Yep, hunky-dory, they said. As long as it was from one of the Gov.ie providers. So I had to zip around the city trying to get the right test. But I thought I had. And, I was a little uncertain about it, but I figured the helpline people know more than me. So instead, I was left at the boarding gate trying to get my already checked-in luggage back and pounding on the glass of the door to attract the attention of my traveling companion who was climbing the steps to the airplane.
Oh, no. And
eventually I realized I had a phone.
I assume your travelling companion had got a digital COVID cert, yeah?
Yes.
Yes,
and
okay.
they're now in Malta, so having a very sad solo holiday.
And you're here?
I am here.
Oh,
no cert yet.
So, right, okay. So you've been onto the portal, you've been onto the COVID helpline, the helpline that was set up last week. You were left on hold on 2 separate occasions for 6.5 hours, and you've still no cert.
No cert, and everyone on the helpline was nice, but the system is broken and it's not a helpline if it doesn't help.
No, of course. And what about your GP that you got the vaccine from? What has your GP said?
She's a star. She thought that it should be with me within 5 working days. About 2 weeks ago now. She's not sure what happened either.
So now what? Another 6.5 hour phone call?
I'm dreading it. I can't even. And yet, that's the only thing I can think of to do. So once I hang up with you, it's either back up in the helpline or perhaps just lying, face first on the floor.
And as a matter of interest, had you been allowed on the airplane, would you have gotten in Malta? Would they have allowed you in with your card from your GP?
I'm told I probably would have been put in quarantine. At this point, quarantine in Malta sounds pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, it sounds nicer than another 6.5 hours on a phone call.
Anything does.
Well, just to read out a message from Liam, just to balance things a bit, second vaccine Sunday the 1st of August in Kilkenny, extremely well organised, got my cert yesterday, says Liam. In fact, one of my friends got his second vaccine on Sunday and he had his cert by email on Sunday evening. So they can do it sometimes, but it seems somebody like yourself, Sarah, has just slipped through the cracks and you don't exist.
Sadly so. That's brilliant for Liam. But I have now been talking to several other people, many people who are on my cancer board because I got vaccinated early because I was a cancer survivor, and some who currently have cancer are still waiting for their certs. And it's all a bit worrying because you don't know whether you might medically need to go to another country.
That is awful. Sarah, like I said, you've extraordinary patience. You're going to try it again. Keep in touch with us and let us know if you end up spending a huge duration on another phone call and whether or not you get your cert eventually. So do please keep in touch with us, Sarah, if you would, please.
I will do. Wish me luck.
Thanks very
so
much indeed. Good luck. Enjoy your afternoon on hold. All right, there you go. Mary in Wexford texted in to say, what happens when my name is misspelled on my COVID certificate, says Mary in Wexford. Mary, you can go on to the portal and you can change the information and you will get a new one. I did it for my own parents the other day. We're going to take a quick break. More from Lunchtime Live straight after the news.
Lunchtime Live on News Talk.
Brought to you by Avant Money. Think you're getting the best value from your bank? Think again.